And welcome back here to AUPanthers.tv. Tom Verdi alongside Anthony Barra set to break down what was a thriller here at the Center for Recreation and Sport. Panthers walk out with a 78-76 victory over St. Mike's. Anthony, it didn't come easy, but that's kind of what you expected from a scrap Mike's team. They've played a lot of close games this year. They've had a lot of single-digit losses, and they had another one here today. Adelphi able to hang on and get the win.
The Panthers led by 13 with about a minute left to go before halftime. Two quick threes from the Purple Knights made it a 7-point game at half, and from that point on, this was a very competitive basketball game. Purple Knights really were able to make some changes. They got their legs underneath them in the second half. They looked very tired at the end of the first half, just could not keep up with that run-and-gun, up-tempo style that the Panthers were playing. So the game took on a more slowed-down approach. There were a lot of stoppages. Both teams went to the free throw line significantly more in the second half. So as a result, you saw St. Mike's be a little bit fresher, and that's why they were able to hang around so late. This really was an exciting game coming down to the wire.
St. Mike's played well. They seem to kind of throw Adelphi out of rhythm with that 2-3 zone. They also, I think, were making more buckets in the second half, which, as we talked about, Anthony, kind of helped slow down Adelphi's transition offense and forced Adelphi to go into that half-court set where they started to struggle shooting from three-point range a little bit, weren't knocking down some of their shots, and they kind of had to change their offense as the half went on in order to hang on to this win.
The 2-3 zone of St. Mike's really gave fits to the Panthers. In the first half, Adelphi was making threes, and they were making deep twos, which is the way you beat a 2-3 zone. They didn't have those shots falling in the second half, and it was incredibly tough for them. That's why St. Mike's was actually able to take a lead in the second half. They led 6-4 early in the first, then they didn't lead again until about the 10-minute mark of the second half, but there was a solid stretch where it looked like maybe they were going to be able to pull away.
And again, as we take a quick think back to that last play of the game, Anthony, Sade Jackson, she gets the inbounds pass. She tries to create it herself. It looked at the time like a rush shot, maybe not the best shot selection. Fortunately, though, she was able to draw some contact, get herself to the line, knock down some big key free throws, and that was how the Panthers were able to win the game.
If the ref did not call the foul, we would probably be talking about the poor shot selection by Sade Jackson, but she knew the officials were calling a lot of contact in this game. That's what happens when you're a senior and you have awareness. You're able to read the officials. It looked like she did maybe make at least a look towards Kittredge just to try and throw the defense off, because I think everyone thought she was going to get the ball in a big situation like this. But she made the right decision ultimately, and she had the ice water running through her veins. She was able to make those free throws. That's tough. It's a very big spot.
Anthony, a quick look at some of the key stats. Adelphi was -1 in the rebound total, but +1 in the turnover battle. So really this game was very tight overall. They shot 50%. St. Mike shot about 44%. Everything led you to believe this was going to be a tight game, which it was. Jessica Kittredge led Adelphi with 19 points, actually led all scorers, also with double-digit points. Kelly Mannix, and also for double-digit points, Callie Balfour chipping in with 12. So a good game all around for this Adelphi team. And again, the most important thing, they get back on the winning track.
Absolutely, Tom. Ultimately, that is important, especially in a very competitive conference like the NE10. You need to get any wins in conference play that you can.
Yep.
No one really cares about how pretty they are at the end of the day. If you get a win, it's another win in conference play, and that's big.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break and be back with assistant coach Kate Wetmore right after this on AUPanthers.tv. And we're back here on AUPanthers.tv. Tom Verdi now with the pleasure to be joined here inside the post-game show by assistant coach Kate Wetmore. Coach, obviously a back-and-forth affair, especially in that second half. St. Mike's really battled your team, gave your team everything that you could handle, but in the end it was Sade Jackson, a big play at the end of the game, got herself to the free throw line. Tell me about that play. What were you guys talking about in the huddle right before that final possession?
This is a situation that Sade's been in many times in her career, and she felt confident that she was going to be able to make that play happen, and she did. She took it in stride and got to the line and closed it for us. So.
Now, a big bucket for Sade. She didn't maybe have the best offensive game, a lot of assists, but maybe not the amount of points that she was used to. But it seemed that when she did have some buckets, they were some key buckets for your team when you really needed them.
Yeah, the thing about Sade is she's a pass-first point guard. She always has been. That's why she leads the nation in assists. So, we had a lot of other girls stepping up tonight off the bench. Iffy, a lot of people really put in some good minutes, and Sade gets the ball to everybody. So it was all around a great effort.
It seemed like, of course, Jessica Kittress, your team's leading scorer, they gave her a lot of attention. They tried to bring the double team on her down low every time. So it took some other players that really had to step up, and some of your role players coming up with some big games. Mannix especially with a very nice game today for your team.
Yeah, Kelly's been working hard. She's been working on expanding her game outside of the three-point line. She's known as a shooter, but she can do a lot of different things, and she came in and really made some great things happen for us today.
And for your team, you had been struggling a little bit defensively. It seemed at times when your offense wasn't clicking in that second half, your defense was able to come up and give your team some big stands.
Yeah, it's great when we get that mentality to let our defense turn into our offense and get some of those stops. And, again, we had great people from the bench coming in, doing really great things on defense. Iffy's a hard person to have defend you, along with Shannon Flynn, and they did some great things for us and gave us a real nice boost out there.
And for your team now, 8-1 at home. What is it about playing here at the Center for Recreation and Sport that just seems to bring the best out of your squad?
I mean, I'm partial to this gym. I played here too, so I love it. Everything about it. We love playing at home. Just, fans, friends, families, and all the support here. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks a lot so much for your time, and good luck going out the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
And that'll do it for us here from AUPanthers.tv.